Late last year, I took the MX-5 to a racetrack to find the car's weaknesses in a safe environment, as well as to do some skids, legally. In its then newly turbocharged form, the car was awesome. It had plenty of power while retaining the handling this chassis is so well known for. I met up with Jeff, a race driver and instructor who's been helping car manufacturers do R&D on their cars for many years.
I instruct as a bit of a hobby because I used to instruct in North America a lot and I enjoy it. I enjoy the meeting the students and watching them develop. I also enjoy developing vehicles and getting the better out of them.
So you would say you're qualified to drive this MX-5 and give us some tips on what you think could be changed or fixed or modified to go better around the track, right?
I think I might just be qualified to drive the MX-5.
Okay, good.
He took the wheel and gave me a no-holds-barred review of what he thought needed addressing on the car.
I'm feeling a bit of vibration. That might be either the tyres or the wheels.
Yep.
A bit of understeer through here. I would say you probably have to look at doing a rear LSD. I'd say the power is probably almost ideal.
Yep.
It's just a matter now of controlling it.
Yeah.
So it's not totally going in, it's totally sort of mid-corner.
So how does that relate to kind of front end and rear end grip, do you think?
That could be rear sway bar. I could be out in this thing all day. So definitely a rear diff.
Yep.
Much wider rear tyres. You're going to go 9 inches on these. Bigger brakes, if they can be done on the budget.
Yep.
Because that will allow a bit more late braking.
Yep.
Without having to lock the wheels. And your cooling system. Once you put that new diff in it, it'll bring it alive.
Yep.
And once you put wider tyres on there, you'll be able to float through the corners a lot faster. It'll have a little bit of induced understeer, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Understeer is very fast.
Yeah. And predictable, right?
And predictable, yeah.
Predictable and fast, exactly what this car should be. So with Jeff's advice in mind, we headed back to the garage to try and put his theory into practice.
This car handles like a snail on heat, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It handles like a snail covered with its own vagina penis secretion.
You know what it does most importantly?
This is a dead end, dude.
It does choo-choo.
So Marty, every time I've been calling you lately, you've been out almost every single night with your new MX-5 mates, which is a bit weird because I have a Forester basically because of you.
Yeah.
And now it's just me. I got to go to Ozfos to get my Forester Subaru love.
Yeah.
Because you're hanging out with all the MX-5 people now.
Dude,
what's with that?
I've been busy getting parts.
I know every time I call you, you say you're out buying parts.
Yeah.
Well, you're out picking up some dudes or women or something in your MX-5.
I can't fit them in my MX-5, everyone knows that. But no, dude, these are all the bits. Every part that we identified as the weakness of the car, I have done my best to get. They're all second-hand. And yeah, so the budget is definitely not blown out. It's still definitely a budget car. It's not a BYO race car. And so yeah, we got all sorts of mad stuff. Do you want to know what we've got?
I'd like to see each and every single thing, Martin.
All right, let's start with these. So this is an NB MX-5 big brake kit. So these are the biggest brakes you can put on the car that are factory brakes. So you've got a much bigger disc, bigger surface area, bigger pad, front and rear brakes. And that's
How much for they, Martin?
they're about $400 for the entire set. Also in that box, now that is a coil pack holder. So the idea of this is it holds in the new coil packs that are going to go on, because currently it has coils and then ignition leads, which is no good, introduces unreliability. So this will give us a stronger spark. They're coil packs from a Toyota, and that holds it down onto the engine. This bit is probably the one of more of the exciting ones.
What's that one? Is that a dream catcher, the more exciting one? Oh, it wasn't. Oh, it's these ones. Sorry.
We've got some clear indicators. That's just to make it look rad. This is a coolant reroute kit. Now, when they originally made MX-5s, the motor they put in at the 1.6 was originally from a Mazda 323, which is a front-wheel drive engine. When they made this engine, they put it north-south, but the cooling system is a bit weird. Like, the coolant doesn't go around the fourth cylinder at the back properly, so this has been developed that it reroutes the coolant from the front of the engine round to the back, which means you get much more even cooling. Now, you saw it overheat on the track, and that was one of the reasons why, so that's awesome.
Martin, this here is the opposite to that sticker. I love it.
Okay.
That's awesome, it makes sense and it works.
Yeah, sticker no good?
I just don't like it.
Okay, that's cool. You don't have to. Now, the other exciting thing is this. It's an aftermarket alloy radiator.
Oh, sorry, I was just looking at that chop sticker that's available at mightycarmods.com.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, back to this, Martin.
That's an aftermarket radiator as well, so that will go in the nose of the car and that will help with cooling. We've also got to organise some better ducting for the front so we actually get all the air through the front of the car, but this will help keep it cool. That's a known fix for overheating.
Let's move along here, Martin.
These are exciting, front and rear sway bars. Now the front sway bar is pretty massive, so we don't know if that's going to work so well, but the rear sway bar is awesome. It's got some heavy duty drop links, new drop links and new bushes for the front as well.
It's already got some madness. This is not factory madness here, is it?
No,
Martin?
aftermarket polyurethane bushes front and rear, so that will help a great deal. We've also got, here are the coil packs I was talking about earlier. Now these are from a Toyota Corolla, and they will sit in the top of the engine like that. We wire the Haltech into it and we get a stronger spark, which is awesome.
That's great.
And we just adjust a few things in our ECU. That'll stop ignition breakdown at high RPM. We've also got a new clutch. Now we don't necessarily need to put this in just yet, but it's here because that's going to be the next weak link once we get a decent diff in the back of it, but that may be on another day. And that is all our mad MX-5 bits, dude.
That's awesome, Martin.
Yeah.
Your MX-5 mates have come through with the goods.
The street tyres and old wheels weren't up to the task and didn't fit all that well, so I got some Advan AD08s put on some new smaller wheels that I got from some MX-5 mates at a Tupperware party. These work well as street tyres but are extra sticky and can take more heat cycles at a higher temperature than your normal everyday road tyres. The hardtop came with the car, but the paint was old and manky. I decided to spray it the same colour as the windscreen mast, which is a mad metallic black from some kind of Renault Megane French thing. Smashing a car around a track with nothing but a canvas soft top above your head can be scary. The roll bar works with both hard and soft top, so none of the car's convertible awesomeness is affected. We made an episode dedicated on how to install a roll bar, so check it out. Next up is bracing. Convertibles have a habit of flexing and flapping around like old balls because there's no roof structure to help stiffen the chassis. The bracing helps get back some of the lost ball stiffness. And that basically connects the front and the rear, and apparently this one makes quite a big difference, so I'm told by MX-5 enthusiasts, and they know everything.
Roads to life, mate.
Yeah, man.
Being able to slow down quickly means later braking and faster track times, so we threw on bigger MX-5 brakes and installed some Hell-braided brake lines.
So when the brakes are finished, Marty, it's just cooling to do.
Yep, radiator and a coolant bypass, dude, that's it.
Because that was the biggest problem we found, wasn't it? Was the actual cooling on the track.
Well, yeah, the thing is it will do a couple of laps, no worries, like perfectly, but if you keep into it, like I think we got to about 5 really, really hard laps on a fairly hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got really hot. And they all do that apparently, turbo MX-5s, a lot of them do it.
Yeah, right.
So, apparently a coolant reroute and a bigger radiator will solve it.
Yeah. Which is what we're doing next time, Marty, and then it's back to the track.
Exactly.
We headed to the drags for the ultimate JDM convertible showdown, and it didn't go so well, because I got chopped.
Chopped! Shut up, man. Alright, the ultimate built versus bought. A $1,500 MX-5 versus an S2000. That's basically stock. I actually have to win this. I actually have to win.
And we're off. He's ahead of me. And I'm past him. I've got him. Come on, VTEC, third gear. Oh, so close. I think I got him.
But that is going to be a close race.
On paper, the cars were pretty closely matched, but I should still have won it. It just didn't make sense.
This is it. Got this one. Gonna get a good line.
You can see at this point where the MX-5 goes from the chopper to the chopped. All that choo-choo power is being released as smoke from a rapidly disintegrating driveline.
Nah, that's clutch. It's all clutch. Oh man, there it goes again. That explains it. This explains it.
Even with a blown clutch, I managed to limp the MX-5 down to see Mechanical Steve, so I could steal his hoist and do a few more upgrades to the MX-5. The bracing we put on had to be removed. along with the exhaust and dump pipe. The prop shaft then has to be removed and then the gearbox unbolted so it can be lifted out of the car. It's not clear exactly how long the existing clutch had been in there for, but its life would have most likely been shortened dramatically by having double the factory power being fed through it. We tapped in a new rear main seal and gave the gearbox a good clean. So it's 3 days until the track day. While I've got mechanical sticks hoist and the car is in the air, we're going to throw some coilovers in it. It may make the ride a little bit harsher, but for all that adjustability, it's going to be worth it. We covered coilover installs on a 180SX drift car. These are very similar in design and we can adjust ride height, spring preload and damping. With a few extra hands, the gearbox gets lifted back into the car and bolted in. While the dump pipe was out of the car, we decided to heat wrap it to try and reduce some of the under bonnet temperatures. Heat wrap is made of fiberglass and has great insulating properties. One of the best upgrades for any MX-5 that has an open diff is an LSD. A limited slip differential stops an unloaded wheel from spinning, making the car grip better, and it makes it more predictable through corners. This diff was an option on a later model MX-5 and we're hoping will make the car faster around the track. The drive shafts also need to be upgraded to the later model ones in order to fit, so the stock MX-5 ones are coming out and going in the bin. With the diff in, the rear coilovers can get bolted in, along with the new drive shafts, and the car can get lowered back onto the floor. Mechanical stick fits up the newly wrapped dump pipe, the bracing is reinstalled and we're ready to go. So now it's time to go back to the track and see if all these mods have transformed the car.
It feels good so far. It already feels very flat and those brakes feel a lot more confident than they ever have before. Chasing another MX-5. Oh wow, that's worlds apart. It was so skatey before, it's just got grip. It just feels like I've got way more steering wheel than I ever have before. That's fantastic. So now, it's time to get Jeff into the car and see what he makes of it.
All right, Jeff.
Howdy. We're back.
Yeah, it's great to see the car back.
This is exciting.
Yeah, well, there's been some advances based on the last time I drove it, as you were telling me earlier. So,
Yep.
So what happened? We got
coilovers, new wheels that are wider, brakes, sway bars, bracing, heat wrap on the exhaust, better cooling, coolant reroute, roll bar, and a diff. A diff. You said that was important.
Yeah, that was a bit sloppy last time.
Oh yeah. The power should be roughly the same, but the diff ratio is slightly different though.
Right.
And also it does have new tyres, it's got those Neovas, so we should have more grip than we've ever had before.
Yeah, we had street tyres on before, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Okay. So there's been a lot of changes. Normally you sort of go through all these changes and you do sort of one change you test, another change you test, another change you test. So the last time I drove that, well, that turns in really sharp now.
Yeah.
It seems to want a nicely stable back to the centre of the steering, which is nice.
Yep.
Back to the rack, which helps centralise everything.
It already feels, even at this pace, it just feels stickier to me, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Which is really cool.
It feels like the back end is just itching to go.
It is?
Yeah, it does. It does. Get the RPMs matched here on the downshift.
Because all the changes that we did are basically word for word what you said it would need. I think one of the other ones you were talking about was a diff.
Yep.
How does that actually feel different on the track?
It feels very good. It feels like there's no surprises. Before, at any given point, when you play with the throttle, it felt like you were up for a surprise.
That's the same corner we did that last time too.
Yeah, I went in a bit too hard on the brakes. So I just wanted to rotate it around, but it was very controllable. Last time I think we went further around than what we did that
time. We were almost sideways on the track last time. It's always the S2000, isn't it?
Bloody Honda drivers.
Honda drivers!
really balanced. There seems to be no surprises anymore.
Yep.
Before we had a couple of surprises on exit, we get inside wheel spin and that would cause the car to hop.
I'm having a lot more trouble staying in it, so that's a good sign, isn't it?
It's going to hang on tighter.
Wow.
Oh, that felt really good. Nice and neutral.
It also has, now it's got braided brake lines and bigger brakes as well.
It's so there. That temperature came up, but outside of that, the whole car is a great package. It feels really good. The braking, not so squishy now.
Yep.
Moving around under brakes, there's none of that anymore. There's no surprises under acceleration. We had a bit of a slide up here, but I think that was just waiting for the tyres to warm up.
Yep.
So I think, in all, I think it's pretty good. It's quite a few steps above, but they're confident steps. They're not like wasted effort steps.
Yeah.
It's all about thermal control.
Yeah.
If you can, you're always trying to control the heat, whether that heat be in the brakes, in the engine, in the cooling, in the tyres.
Yeah.
It's all about, then you got radiant heat, and you got heat soak from the engine, especially if you're running a turbo.
Yeah.
That's probably sitting, it's probably got all the oils around it up to 190 degrees. Right now, 180, 190 degrees.
And it's not a cool day today either, is it really?
No.
It's fairly warm.
No, it's fairly warm, so everything would heat up quickly. The good part is so do tyres.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we actually had a small overheat problem. I think last time that temperature gauge hit H.
Oh, it did. It got really hot really quickly. Yeah.
So now this may, what we saw back there when it probably went up another 30 or 40 degrees than what it should be at normal. But that may have been its limit. You don't know. Until you say, well, let's just hold it there and see what happens. Let's run this pace and see if it doesn't go past that.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go past that, you then know that under pace, this has a different limit.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You know?
And these gauges are not that accurate either, really. They kind of favour the middle and then...
they pretty much favour the middle. But you've done things that a manufacturer would spend 6-7 months doing and perfecting, and they would take it out to the desert and they would run it in the desert at 200 kilometers an hour until that needle never moved. Right. And they would keep making changes, changing radiators, changing cooling fluids, changing the radiator style, going towards the different impellers in the water pump. Yeah. They would keep on developing until they got past that, until they could stabilize it.
Yep.
And that would include probably on the hottest days sending it to the Gulf of Arabia and running up and down their speed unrestricted
We should
highways.
do that too.
I'm free next week.
Oh, good. Next week I'm already calm. Well, Jeff, thank you again, because that was a whole lot of fun, and that was a lot faster than it ever felt before. And I think we're gonna have, it's just gonna be never ending. But that's fun too, right?
Well, welcome to motorsport. You know, it never ends. You know, even when you get to the end, you'll still have an engineer or a driver who'll say, I just need this little bit more out of it.
Yep.
You know, so.
Well, I'm happy. Well, I'm happy because all the mods seem to work. We haven't blown it up. We've discovered a couple of weak links in it. We're going to take more fixing. But that's all part of it. So thank you again.
No problem. My pleasure. I enjoy driving it.
Awesome.
Just a few weeks later, I got another opportunity to take the MX-5 out to try and iron out any leftover issues, as well as reclaim my title of owning the fastest convertible in the Mighty Car Mods garage.
Onto the track at Marulan Driver Training Centre. I love this track because it's tight and it's twisty and it's technical. It means you don't have to be doing 250 k's an hour down some straight to be able to test your car. So for testing out a car that you have put together yourself, I think it's a really, really good place to be. This first lap, everything's getting warm. Now, I didn't really get to drive this car a whole lot at Wakefield when Jeff Denby was driving because they had some issues with the dump pipe that was rubbing on the body and sounding very, very scary. But here, everything seems to be working really, really well. That LSD diff in the back is making such a huge difference. It is such a good mod to do to one of these cars. It means every little bit of power that you make gets put down to the tarmac. The big brakes are making a huge difference. They're not getting hot. It's taking a good kind of 8 or 9 laps really to get them hot. The power's really progressive. The tunings is awesome for here. The motor's not too stressed on 10 PSI. Just loves it. Revs out, go for the braking point, brake hard, turn in. It's so neutral. Like getting in some practice on this straight for my drag strip. It's basically just pick a gear, floor the throttle, away you go. It costs very little to make. It's fast, it's fun, it grips, and it's affordable, unlike an S2000. So I think all that's left to do now is go to the track and chop move.
Next time on Mighty Car Mods.
steer VTEC 9000 change. So we are sitting on the M5 in lots of traffic, and let me show you the sky up there. It's a lot of black cloud. The other thing worth noting, we've got no roof, hard or soft, nothing. We got nothing, Martin.
Yeah, the soft top kind of didn't work, and so it had to go. I got a hard top, but you can't put that on by yourself, not easily. So yeah, we're just chancing it.
Yeah, we've probably got about another 45 minutes of driving
In first gear.
and maybe 5 minutes before a storm.
If you drive fast enough, you can actually like avoid the raindrops.
I saw that on Mythbusters, but I thought they busted that myth.
They probably did, but I'm sticking with it.
Somehow the rain is getting behind my glasses, so I've done a little mod, and for the meantime this is working fine. Oh,
That
wow.
guy next to us is having a mad giggle, dude.
Probably laughing, man.
These things are ridiculous.
Probably raining, probably laughing.